beautiful beaders, it's Gina from Orchid and Opal.com, and I'm really excited to bring you another finished jewelry update today. So for those of you who are newer to my channel, first of all, welcome. So happy to have you here. Something that I like to do on my channel is not only open up bead and jewelry making subscription boxes, but also come back and show you guys the things that I've made and also talk about them a little bit. I like to go into detail about where the materials came from and more about my design process. So what I'm going to be showing you today is 8 finished pieces or sets that came from or were inspired mostly by the beads from the March 2019 bead crate. If you haven't seen that unboxing, I will link that up in the corner there. I have about a year's worth of unboxings of their boxes as well, and we'll leave the link to their site down below if you are interested in signing up with them. So the first thing I have here today is this lovely set right here. In the March 2019 bead crate, they sent a beautiful assortment of check glass, all different sorts of colors, and they also sent these little findings right here, which you could do a lot with these, but mainly they are connectors. And I decided to use one down here to form a little bit of a pendant. I did get these Peacock finish beads, these 3 oval ones, at another site that I just did a haul for, but I thought they went really well with these purple disc beads or coin beads that were just sent. They may have been called dime beads that were sent by the bead crate subscription. So I had these purple beads. I had these right here in my stash, but I thought they coordinated really well, these crystals, with the colors in the peacock oval beads and the purple dime beads. So I decided to kind of put those all together, and I really like how it came out. So I decided to make a little Y necklace and just connected 2 segments of beaded strands of wire right here, some little spacers in between, and then I finished it up with some stainless steel chain on the back and then a little embellishment on the back of the chain. Then I just made some coordinating earrings with the 2 extra findings that I had. They actually sent 4 of these, and I thought they made some really cute earrings. So here's another look at the necklace and earring set all laid out. I didn't expect to use these oval beads right away, but when I saw how well they went with the purple, I just decided to go with it, and I really like how it came out. The next thing I want to show you is this bracelet I'm wearing, and this actually started with a Jill Wiseman design, who is awesome. I will leave the link to the original design down below. It was her Parisian Lights bracelet, and I just kind of changed it up based on the beads that I had. We were sent these 8mm check glass fire polish beads in the bead crate, as well as these, I think they were 5 or 6mm amethyst color fire polish beads. So different size beads than what were used in Jill Wiseman's design, but I definitely used her design to springboard off and to kind of customize it to work with the size beads that I had, and then I also added some extra little embellishments on the side. But I do think it is a very pretty bracelet. It's very sparkly, and since bead crates send so much check glass and especially fire polish, I wanted to look for another way to use those beads in bead weaving and not just stringing projects. I do like to do a mix of the 2. Next up is this more bead heavy 3-strand necklace that I made from quite a few of the beads that came in the box. And by the way, since I didn't say it before, so these pieces are not all beads exclusively to the box. Obviously, these are their beads mixed with my beads, but their beads are going to be what takes up most of the project and what really inspired me to create these finished pieces, which is what everybody's going to do. You're going to take, if you're a subscriber to their box, you're going to take the beads that came in their box and you're going to mix them with what you have and come up with something totally different. So that's the idea. So they sent these Montana blue type rondelle beads. There were these gorgeous tanzanite glass beads, and also some of these other fire polish beads right here. They had half silver and half a very light purple on them. I thought they went really well with some kind of stainless steel color beads, like a bluish gray. So I decided to pair them with some of these gray beads that I already had in my stash, as well as some stainless or nickel plated seed beads, some Tibetan silver spacers, just use kind of that darker silver tone with these shades of lavender and that gray blue. I also pulled in some other fire polish beads I had already in my stash. to use up, I had some of these clear AB, and then some of these that were kind of a white and clear. I'm not sure if they were called Opal, but they were a mix. And I thought they added a nice little accent to those. And as you can see, everything is random here. I did not space out everything on this necklace perfectly or plan out every single bead, and that was the whole idea. I wanted it to be more random, but yet it all works because all of the beads on all 3 strands are the same types of beads, and things are kind of interspersed throughout the necklace. So here's a full view at this finished 3-strand necklace. As you can see, I just finished it off with a lobster clasp, and then I also have a little piece of extender with an embellishment there. And the strands are laid out so that the inner strand is a little bit shorter, and then the middle strand is longer, and the outer strand is the longest, so they kind of sit like that on the neck. And again, just another look at the random placement of beads and not having like all of one color on one side and all of one color on another. Everything is just kind of intermixed in there, but yet it all works. So here's the next necklace I want to share with you, and these beautiful tulip beads came in the box this month, as well as these green fire polish beads. So the only thing in my stash in this necklace are the seed beads and the findings. But as you can see on one side, these tulip beads are that beautiful plum or deep purple, and then the other side has the AB finish. So these can rotate back and forth. I think they're beautiful, and I thought they went really well with that pop of green. And it can be a challenge to use these beads right here. It can be a challenge to use things that are not completely symmetrical on all sides, and I love the way these look kind of dropping down. I love them in earrings drop that way. And I thought I would go ahead and make a necklace featuring these beads and kind of making them look like they were cascading down. And as you can see, I did it a little bit slightly longer in the middle and then kind of graduated the amount of beads up that way. This is one that I had to take apart a couple times and put back together in order to get it right. And I didn't go by any kind of inspiration photo or anything on this one. This was just laying beads out on my bead mat and trying to come up with some type of design that I was happy with. So I do really like how it came out, and it was definitely what I was picturing for these beads. So then I just added my own 11.0 galvanized gold seed beads here in between these fire polish, and then added some 15.0 back here instead of doing chain, which I like to do sometimes. So again, here's another look at how this design came out. It really reminds me of spring, and I love the contrast of the purple and that bright lime green. Next up, I have this set to share with you, and the spotlight is really on the earrings in this set, I think, because these are what I made first from the entire box. We got these gorgeous table cut beads right here, these triangles, and the holes were kind of going through the small part of one of the points on the triangle, which was interesting. So I was putting things together and kind of moving things around, and I really liked how the 3 triangles kind of fit together like that. So then I decided I wanted to make some earrings with those being all together. So I kind of experimented a little bit, pulled in some of these blue beads that they had also sent in the box, and then accented them with an antique brass or bronze colored seed bead and finding. So like I said, I made the earrings first, and then I decided to make a very simple necklace to go along with it. So I made this right here, which again features 3 of those table cut triangle beads, as well as some of these other blue glass beads with that gorgeous finish on the bottom and top, and then some connectors, which also came from Bead Crate, but they had come from a previous box, and I was actually able to order some more because I used them quite a bit, and then just added a little pop of color a little bit further up the chain. So here's another look at this finished set. I think it's very simple. You could dress it up or down. It could go with jeans and a t-shirt, or a nice spring florally print dress or something like that. I really gravitate towards simple, elegant designs, and especially in my own jewelry making and wearing, so I could see myself grabbing for something like this on a regular basis. By the way, if my voice sounds a little bit off, it's because I'm filming really early in the morning, like really early, so I haven't really had a chance to warm it up yet. I'm trying to sip on some coffee, but I did want to go ahead and get this video filmed as soon as I had the opportunity. Next up, I have this pretty statement necklace to share with you. So these yellow AB finished teardrop beads also came in the box, and so I thought they looked gorgeous paired with these other faceted large peach crystal beads that I already had in my stash. And I got some inspiration from some pictures on Pinterest, not just one picture in particular, but just about how there were certain statement necklaces that were kind of layered with different teardrop beads. So I decided to look in my stash and see what went together, and that's how I was able to pick out the peach teardrops, and I thought they looked so pretty and spring-like with these yellow ones, and the yellow ones with that AB finish kind of had a little bit of that peach tone in them too. So I thought they went together really well, and I thought it was a great way to use these teardrops that I'd been hanging on to and hadn't really used. Then I just paired them with a gold tone chain that I had, and as you can see, I did have these teardrops on 2 different layers just to graduate how these would drape around the neck, and then just again an extender chain and finished it with another yellow bead on the back as an embellishment. I did also make some earrings to go with that. Here's one I had in reach that I could grab to show you, just some of those yellow teardrops dangling around one of the peach teardrop beads on the bottom. Next up, I couldn't wait to use these beautiful red table cut beads that they had in the box. There were 4 of them, and I used all 4 in this necklace. Thought they went really well with the antique brass toned finishes of these findings, and also combined them with these red glass beads that they also put in the box. So I just pulled this rose from my own stash. This is something I had gotten on eBay a while back, and I had also pulled in these little 3mm fire polish red beads just to add a little bit of extra something on the other side of these table cut beads. So this is one of my favorite sets from today personally, just because I love red. It's one of my favorite colors. I love floral, and I love these table cut beads so much. So in addition to this necklace, I also made these earrings. Now these are not an exact match for this rose, but I thought they went pretty darn well. These were something I also had in my stash, and I actually put 2 of these together. They're just little rose connectors of a smaller size, but I put 2 of them together so that there wasn't an open back, and that way that they could be kind of 3-dimensional and have something on all sides. And they're just staying together with this little wire wrap loop here on the bottom, and also a little jump ring on the top. So there's a final look at that set, just another way to use these beads in more of a wire wrapped link sort of way, where you just wire wrap links of beads and link them together and put them with metal findings. And now last but certainly not least is this pendant right here that I actually created myself. This was not made using somebody else's tutorial or anything like that. This was just me playing around with the beads that I had in my stash. For whatever reason, when I took these beads out, first of all, they're so unique. They're just a different shape than anything I have. They are a drop type bead with the hole up here, but I was trying to find a way to use them besides just having them hanging off the end of a necklace, because I already kind of did that a couple times in these designs that I showed you today. So I was moving them around and kind of saw that they made a cool little like star pattern, and instead of doing like a 5-pointed star, I decided to do like a 7-pointed star. And I'm not joking, I actually made this 6 times. It took me so long to get this right, but I'm really happy with how it came out now. I did videotape myself making it correctly the last time, you know, to get it to look like this, just in case I had to refer back to it again, because I figured there's no way that I'd remember what I did, because I had to make it so many times and do different things to get it right. But anyway, as you can see, I used some of these crescent beads that I had in my stash. They're 2-hole crescent beads. I used some fire polish beads that came in this box, the little 3mm mix. I thought that came in handy, so I used some of those. I used some seed beads from my stash, and then a Swarovski Rivoli that I had in my stash that I thought looked beautiful in there. But despite all the effort and having to try and try again, I really am happy with how it came out. I think it's a really cool and unique looking pendant, and something that's quite unexpected if you were to receive these beads, you know, maybe it's not something you'd automatically think to do. And oh, here's a look at the back. So the back looks pretty cool too. If you really want to see how I did it, I could possibly be persuaded to put that little video together and maybe voice over it, because I wasn't talking through the video when I was filming myself making it, but it's possible I could edit that and put some voiceover to it if you wanted to see me actually making this piece. Here's a closer look at the sides, and then I just added it to a really simple gold tone chain and added one of those green drop beads to the back as an embellishment. So that's what I've been up to with the beads from the March 2019 Bead Crate subscription box. Here is the bead map that I have with the leftover beads from that box. These actually weren't all from the box, probably about this many I had left from it, but they were the same as some of the other beads that I already had, so I just combined them. But yeah, this is basically all that is left from the box after making all those pieces. It was so much fun to work with these check glass beads as always, and everything that they sent. I'm so happy with their subscription box every time it comes. And I'm not sponsored by them or anything. This was just my idea to come up with projects based on a lot of the beads from the boxes, since I know a lot of you all are getting them too and maybe are looking for ideas and inspiration. Well, I had so much fun coming up with some finished pieces to share with you guys. It's always so much fun to share in the unboxings and also share in what we've all been able to make together from the beads in the boxes. We all have so many different ideas, even using the same beads, so it's always fun to see that. If you like these finished jewelry update videos, I do have a playlist with over 30 of them from the past year, so definitely check that out. If you're interested in learning more about the Bead Crate subscription, I will leave their link down below. And again, I also have another playlist showing about a year's worth of those unboxings. Feel free to leave me a comment below. Let me know if there's something here that you liked or what you've been up to with your beads. If there's anything here that you are interested in purchasing, you can definitely do that. If it's not listed yet on my website, orchidandopal.com, you can feel free to email me or get in touch with me on social media to ask me about anything you'd like. And that is the case for any of my videos and jewelry that I feature on them. If there's something that you need to have adjusted or would like adjusted, I'm happy to do that as well, so don't be afraid to ask. So I hope you guys have been having fun with your beads. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, and as always, happy beading. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love for you to give it a big thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of my latest videos. Check out the information section under the video for links to my social media handles and other helpful info, and feel free to check out my shop at orchidandopal.com. Thanks for watching!